where did you learn the business and how?
In 98, I was working for Mother Mix. It was a record company in Cape Town, Camps Bay, you know. Alex was the record company owner. So I was watching from afar. He didn't know what the F he was doing. He was just, I don't know what. He's just somebody who jumped in the swimming pool and just tried to make things work, but he didn't know what he was doing. We had a fallout. From having a fallout, I worked with, me and Simon started Slam Production. After starting Slam Production, we looked for a space. Simon Sibanda. He also runs Slam Production and Slam Publishing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, he's also a music producer and a rapper at the same time.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we started Slam Production. We wanted space, and we went to Craig. Craig used to run Mama Dance. I don't know if he still runs Mama Dance. Mama Dance.
This is like, I know the youngins are like, hey, I don't know what Thaso.
Exactly.
You know, old school. Yeah.
Mama Dance. TKZ used to record at Mama Dance. That's when I met TKZ. That was 98, 99.
Oh.
You know what I mean? The last.
King Palafala?
No, actually, even Palafala. Actually, all of TKZ's albums. I don't know about the last one, the Stodla. I don't know about that one.
Wasn't it Kim and Chris up at Electro Mode?
No.
Or that was maybe later on. Okay.
Well, maybe they were doing other tracks elsewhere and so on and so forth. But they used to work with Mike Manijani, one of the dopest engineers you could find. You know, so we worked at. Craig gave us space. He's like, here's a space, utilize it and everything else. Now, what I learned from Craig was how to run a studio. The studio then was busy. You see, Mamu Sadi Walla, KB was recorded there. Okay. I was there at the time, you know, with Jorge and Terry Pinana, you know what I mean? So I met all of those guys there. That's when now I'm thinking, okay, cool, I'm gonna learn from these ones, learn from that one, learn from that one. Mike being one of the dopest engineers, I learned engineering from him. I started using Logic when it was E-Magic.
I remember EJ and I remember.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I used Cubase, I used Resin and so on and so forth. So from Craig, when I left Cape Town, going back to Mafikeng, I thought to myself, I'm ready. I'm gonna start my own record company. Impact Sounds was born, you know? So from Impact Sounds being born, I bumped into Lance. I became Lance's...
Where did you bump into Lance?
Actually, Beatmaker came to Mafikeng and they told him, hey, there's a dope producer somewhere around here and whatever. Beatmaker came to the studio, he listened to some of my stuff, he went back wild. So Lance called me. At the time, I have a studio. My aunt left me with a flat in Mafikeng, turned the whole flat into a recording studio. Fully functional, my man. We were recording artists day in and night, you know? Mm-hmm. Lance calls me on my phone, it rings there, I'm thinking, 011 number, who's this? I don't even know. It rings again on my landline. Yo. Go, I pick up, okay. Hey, this is Lance. Okay, Lance. Yeah. Lance Ghetto Ruff. Okay, Lance Ghetto Ruff. No, Lance, man, Zola's manager, the record company that signed Zola. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, right. What's up? Like, no, I heard some of your stuff, man. Now, I had a house album then. So he's mentioning some of the songs. There was a song called Paraye. He called it Payday Hey. He's like, is this your song? Payday Hey. I'm like, Payday Hey, Lance. No, I don't know that song. So up until he gave me, you know, and then he's like, no, we must hook up and whatever, only to find that same Wednesday, I was coming to Josie. Ever since I came to Josie, met up with Lance, I'm a Joe Burger.
Like that.
And from hooking up with Lance, I'm not gonna lie, I woke up every morning to be where Lance is. Every morning to be where Lance is. Number one, my studio is in Mafikeng. I don't have a studio here. Number two, he never said you can work there, you could do this, you could do anything. So every day I'm walking around up until I asked him, Lance, so what am I actually doing here? Because I need to work, man. Let me rather go back. He's like, how about I give you an advance? And I was like, how much? It's like 50K. I was like, 50K. yeah, give it. He gave me 50K, trust you me. I sat around, I bought a small little bag, went to the bank, cashed out all of that money, put it all in there. Every day I'm walking around with that shit. Nobody knows that I've got 50K in here. But what I was doing is I was coming to Tenki, I was going to Tom's, I was building one of the dopest studios I've ever owned.
That you've
at the time.
At the time, I mean, 50K really did.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah, you could really do something special with that.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy,
use
man.
my Shure mic from back then. Still dope.
I know. I think, you know, even I myself, I mean, the stuff that I've bought that even till today, it still stands the test. I mean, that's what with gear, like, you can see all these even behind you, there's like these, they're trying to model the old stuff.
Exactly.
The stuff will always stand the test of time, you know?
True that.
I want to know, you deal with these kids and you see how they spend money and all of that, and you've worked with, you know, you've done some amazing work that has gone on to the industry, the market, and has made money, but there's money that never saw its way to your pockets.
Yeah.
You're big on publishing.
Yeah, man.
For one or two reasons. Let us know, man, why is publishing such a thing for you? Like, I mean,
I call publishing an investment. What you do today, it pays you later. So if you're not taking care of your investment, then you're not in the business of making money, you know? So for me, I didn't know much about publishing back then when I started off, you know? And I tried to understand publishing, but we didn't have that much access to internet. We didn't have much access to people who knew about these kind of things then, you know? So when I asked, I don't want to call people's names now, because this is a kind of tricky kind of something. So when I asked relevant people who were supposed to give me this kind of information, they didn't give me this kind of information. So I asked, I wondered, why am I not getting this information? And I thought maybe they also don't know. So I went elsewhere to go look for that information. When I got to understand what publishing is all about and what publishing is, I mean, there's mechanical publishing, there's airplay royalty publishing, there's airplay publishing, there's sales. Well, those are royalties actually. Publishing,
like mechanical,
yeah, right? Mechanical predominantly, you know. So within the mechanical side of things, I don't know. What's the percentage? You know. When I got to understand the mechanical publishing type of things, I went back and I sat down and I calculated the number of units at that point in time that I've sold, considering the fact that within the first month of Zola's Bambata album, it was already about 125,000 copies sold. I did the whole album. You know what I mean? So that to me was like, okay, cool. So when we calculate this and calculate that, what is happening? So when I questioned, then it became a problem. Now
going to give Kaivele for the kids that are watching
6.76%.
So if you put out an album right now that's released properly, like an actual CD,
yes,
as a producer, you are, well, depending how many songs you contribute,
yes,
you are
actually for every copy that is sold, 6.76% of that goes to mechanical.
Oh, okay, so it's shared
amongst
the
everybody.
Producers.
Yeah, not just producers,
okay.
Producers and authors.
Oh, I see.
Do you get my point? So,
okay.
So 50% of it goes to producers, 50% of it goes to
so
authors.
100 rands, 6 rand something goes towards mechanical.
Thank you.
And wherever all the contributing parties will share that 6 rand.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Per copy.
Yes. So times the number of sales. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and then
at the same time, within the publishing space, is that if you are published with a publisher, 33.33% of that, if it's a legit publisher, because some publishers are taking 50% and inking, which is wrong. You know what I mean? So 33.33% of that is going to your publishing company.
Okay.
You know? So if you're publishing
yourself,
yourself,
is the publisher taking a third?
Look, at the end of the day, publishers, and if it's a legit publisher, my publishers, what they do is they look for work for me. They will tell me, hey, this this, that is happening. There's a movie that is happening. Can we plug? Or do you have something that could go with this kind of script? Do you have, you know what I mean? So they're looking for work for me. So for them to benefit from that work, what is that? It's that 33.33%.
So guys, publishing or a good publisher must find you work for movies, games,
Yes.
you name it, TV work, anything that they can get your work
Adverts,
active,
plugging, yes.
all of that.
All of
okay,
that.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Do we have that in South Africa?
Yes, we do.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
I remember when I knew, like, I mean, I also did my research. I was very independent as well. I could never find, unless you were really like, you know, like a Thaso, you've got hundreds and thousands of copies sold. Then you have the right publishers that approach you. It's like management, there's very few proper managers, and they only go for the cream of the crop, you know?
Look, at the end of the day is do great shit and watch great people approach you. That's all there is, you know? So because anyone who's going to, because anybody who would want to push your shit, they need to believe in it. Unlike everybody who just goes to a publisher because it's a publisher, you know, or I need a publisher, and you also don't believe that much in your own shit, then
self.
flip. You know what I mean? So do the hard work so that the other person finds it easy for them to sell you. Because if they can't sell you, then it's pointless.
No, that makes sense, man. So you learned all of this
By my lonesome.
by yourself.
Yes.
So in essence, is that why? I mean, obviously, now you are aligned to people. You are with this label. Is that the reason why you left the label and started Impact Sounds? Because I mean, obviously, Impact was always there.
Yes.
But you weren't really pursuing it full time.
I was.
You kind of deviated in a way. Also, you were...
Morafi was signed by Impact
Okay.
Sounds. Tuk Singanga was signed by Impact Sounds.
But I thought it was aligned to Ghetto Ruff.
It was licensed to
Oh,
Ghetto Ruff.
I see.
So
you had done the work and then gave it to them to distribute
and market.
Okay.
Yes. So Impact Sounds licensed its work to Ghetto Ruff. So Impact Sounds has always been alive. Has always been running. Yes.
So what that move then to just be fully now independent?
You see, when you understand what it takes for you to move a notch further, if you don't take that space to do that, then you'll never grow. You know, as a kid, you always find yourself in a position whereby you were crawling, now you stand and you're thinking you fall. You fall. But if you fall once, twice, or three times and never stand up again, you're gonna be a late bloomer. Didn't want to be there. So for me, it was okay. I've learned. I fell. What was taken was what was worthy of my time and my skill. I still have my skill. I can continue doing what I do and grow.
And what does it take? I mean, like, there's a lot of kids now, you know, with the advent of the internet. And every kid thinks now they can be a Casper Nyovest, put out a song on the internet and mobilize hundreds and thousands of people. You know, there's that perception. Yes, the internet has kind of breaking down the whole gatekeeper mentality, you know. It has helped in that sense. But what does it really take? Because I think there's that misconception that you just need the internet. And I feel like that's just partly the battle, you know.
To be honest with you, I think